Hello, Coach Bless. This is Drew, and this is me recording the progress and the completion of the case analysis that I did for you. So, what I'm going to be going over today is how to use this tool that I've made for you. And what I've made is a Google spreadsheet that you will be able to share with your class so that they can have access to your workouts online, and they can do one of two things: print out their workouts before class, um, and they will be able to manage their own workouts because they will have their own individualized accounts in Google spreadsheets that you will also have access to, so you can change and edit whatever you want on their Google spreadsheet, and they can also do the same. So how this works is you make a Gmail account. I will want you to get all your students to make a Gmail account, and then you'll see this over here in the right corner. You just hit Drive, and this is where all your information is saved online. And we'll just go to my case analysis that I did for you. And you basically told me what you wanted, which was you wanted a document that can contain a weight training workout that could incorporate each student's 1 rep max and provide a specialized workout for each of them. And these are just the steps of going through the whole process. And my objectives through making this was for students to be able to measure their personal performance and growth, for students to be able to manage the progress of their personal workout, and for students to be able to analyze the goal and accomplishments of their workout based on their personal document, which contains their 1 rep max. And we want them to do that effectively and efficiently. So once again, these are the steps that I had to do to get to where I'm at now. And as you can tell, that these were some of the websites that I experimented with and looked into. But ultimately, I ended up with about 4 things, which was Google Spreadsheets, screencast-o-matic, which I'll explain in a second, YouTube, and Skype for the most part. So first of all, the tool that I'm using is screencast-o-matic, and you just go to screencast-o-matic.com. You make an account. As you can see, I'm logged into my Gmail account, and it'll take you to this screen. You hit start recording, and then you can record the screen and your voice at the same time, which is what I'm doing right now. You can hear my voice, but you can see my screen. It's all because of screencast-o-matic. And then at the end of it, it gives you an opportunity to publish your work. What I'm going to do is publish this video to YouTube, which is also something you can do for your students, for them to get a tutorial of how to do all of this. If they happen to miss class that day, or if they didn't understand what you were saying in class, they can go through and see all this for yourself. So once again, I'm going to go back to my Gmail account. Like I said, you make a Gmail account, you go to Drive, and the first thing I want to show you is the create a folder part. What you can do is create a folder, and let's say your folder is called Gold 2, as in your Gold 2 class. You can create that folder, and then what you can do is with all of these things that you can make, and you can create a Google Doc, Google presentation, spreadsheets, form, and they'll all be saved right here. You can move them to that folder. So this is me moving everything to the Gold 2 folder, and I'm just showing you how it works, moving to the Gold 2 folder. And like I said, what I want you to do is get your students to make their own Gmail accounts. And then one of the amazing features of this is that they can share, you guys can share information. And here's the template of workouts that you sent me. And what I'm going to do is download it. Going to download. So right here, and what you can do is copy and paste the workout. So let's just say this is your workout for Monday. And where do you go from here is that you can copy and paste this workout to your Google Forms. And I'm just going to add more rows here to show you this example. So this is me copy and pasting. This is the workout that I just copied from the template that you sent me. I'm just going to Control Z that, get rid of it. So that's what I did. I copy and paste from the email that you sent me, and these are the workouts, those exact workouts that you sent me. Provided I only did the workout for this tab, because it was a lot of workouts, and I just wanted to give you a general idea of like how this tool can be used. So these are the workouts that you sent me. I hope you like the maroon and gold. And these are for the different weeks, different days, how you want them to be. These are the workouts, and then what you can do is share this with your class. And I'll show you an example, like with my email. This is I'm sending this to my email, which was what I just typed in, and I'm going to go to that email, and boom, here it is. This is what I just shared with myself. So this is how you can share with your students. And the thing about it is, when you get your students to make their own Gmail accounts, they can uh, copy the, if you send them the workouts in email, they can copy that template, put it into their Google spreadsheet, and then they can share that information with you. And where do you go from there? Is that you can make a folder, and you can save all those students' workouts in this folder. So this is where their personal workouts come in. And so like I said, this is the workout that I made, and then students can type in, like I already have typed in, if let's say that a student's 80% of their max is 195, they can record all of it. 100, let's say this is 205, then this is like 215. I'm just guessing, but this is how it can be used. And another way this can be used is that students can print off this workout by hitting print. And so I know you like to give students their personal, their sheet workouts for the day. This is also one way you can get students to kind of take initiatives on their own. And then another thing that I made was the 1 rep max calculations. And here's a chart that I found online. I copy and pasted. I know that you have a chart in your classroom, but I got this as an example. So let's just say a student maxes out at 295 on 1 rep. As you can see by going through, 60% of that 1 rep would be 177, 50% would be 147. So this is one way that students can calculate the percentages of what they should be doing for that day. So like I said, going back to the original paper, so let's just say they max out in 295, and you told them they need to do 95% of that, which would be 280. So what they would do is go back to their workout, and they put in 280, and then they will fill all this information out, print it out, bring it to class, and they already know what they have to do instead of having to go back and forth between the sheet. And then another feature is the manual calculation of the workouts. And these are 2 different formulas that calculate 1 rep maxes, as I'm sure you know. The break keys, the Berzykes equation, which is right here. What you do is you divide the weight that you're doing by these numbers, and then multiply by the number of reps. And how it works in Google Spread is that you take quotient in capitalized letters, parentheses, and then you put in your weight, let's say 225, comma, to say you're dividing now. So now you put in the denominator, and then you put in the equation times your reps, which would be 2. You hit enter, and that's the number that shows up. And then for the second equation, which is multiplication, basically the same thing. You hit equal, capitalized product with parentheses, and let's just say the weight that you're doing is 225, comma, to signify the multiplication, and then you put in the rest of the equation, 1 plus 0.033 times the number of reps, which would be 2. You hit enter, and there's your number. So this is a way that students can calculate their own reps. And then I also incorporated this link where students can go online and calculate their 1 rep. So let's say students do 255 pounds, they do 2 reps, calculate it, and then this gives you the percentages of weights that they can do if students really aren't interested in doing all the calculations on Google Excel. So, and then another thing that I thought would have been beneficial is Google Forms, and this is a tool that you can use to get feedback from students on basically anything, how they're doing in the class. And I made an example Google form, and we're just gonna hit the live form. So, which weight training exercise is your favorite? Bench press. So this is least favorite. Let's say bench press. Your favorite was squat. How many muscles can a natural woman gain in a month? I think it's 0.1 to 1 pounds. For a natural man, I think it's 1 to 2 pounds. The average natural man gains how many pounds of muscle during his lifetime? I'm pretty sure it is 40 to. It should be 40 to 45, but I messed that up. And then the average for a woman gaining muscle in her lifetime should be 20 to 30. How often do you go to the gym? 2 to 3 times a week. And what you do is you can submit that, so students can submit that, and then you can go back to your folder, and you can see the responses, the results. So when you make a Google form of these things, you also get a folder that has the responses. So these are all the responses that people have filled out, because I did ask people to fill out the survey. And the way this works is that you go to Google, you go to create, go to Google form, you pick a template, and then you can basically just start from there. So if we say, what is your favorite workout? And then you can go to the multiple choice options. Let's say bench press. Click another options. Let's say squat. Click another option. Sorry, I completely. So bench press, squat is first, and then we'll say incline bench, and then you hit required question, because sometimes they can leave things out. Done, and you can answer this question. You can answer the question. Go down here. You can add another item, like text, and then you can just ask another question. So what you can do is just go through and keep asking questions, hit done, and then you can send the form out to your students. So if you really want to know how students are feeling about the workouts, you can make a Google form, and then you can also share it with them, or whoever you like to have the link or the code. And a lot of it's pretty self-explanatory. You can, for the most part, come to this Google form and figure out how everything works. So overall, I hope that this has been what you've wanted. I hope it's been beneficial. So I definitely encourage you to use it. You have my email. Let me know if you have any questions. And then, like I said, this is going to be posted on YouTube, so it'll be a quick tutorial of how to use these tools. Thank you, and I hope it really works out for you. Goodbye.